So when I moved to Wisconsin, I was trying to find ways to do what I love to do, to outreach, to bring the message of the gospel out there. So I started connecting with somebody that owned a newspaper in California. It was a bilingual Christian newspaper. And I called him up and I said, why don't we bring an edition of that newspaper to Wisconsin? We have a growing Hispanic community, and I think it would serve them well to have, this would be the first Hispanic, bilingual paper that was Christian in Wisconsin. So we did that. I just picked up the phone and I called the White House and I shared with them that I was the editor of this small Christian newspaper in Wisconsin and that I wanted to cover events at the White House that, would be interesting events to add to the newspaper. So over a period of almost 8 years, because of George W. Bush, I was able to go back and forth and cover stories. One of my congressmen from the district that I lived became the USAID administrator under Trump. He knew me very well. I texted him and I said, are there any jobs in the administration? I'm just asking, do you have any opportunities at USAID? And he said, Camille, do you realize that you have to move to DC? And I said, I realized that. And so that started the trajectory to get me through the confirmation process to get into USAID. And so I was transferred from USAID into the faith office at the White House with Paula White. I wish I could tell you, yes, I used my brain, but I wish I could tell you I planned it and it was all me, but it really wasn't, because even getting into the White House was just God. I almost felt like I got into the White House from the kitchen. Like I went through the back door and then went in. I just felt like God just snuck me right in. There's always a purpose, there's always a plan. Nothing's happenstance. You don't have to have a PhD in whatever or have a history of, being in politics. God's gonna use you. It doesn't matter who you are. It is your responsibility to become part of your community within, it could be a small village, board or even a PTA leader, but be part of, your community so that you can make a difference in your world. God has a destiny for each and every one of us, and it will happen. But you have to be willing and obedient to follow the call. I got connected with Kenneth Copeland Ministries in the mid-2000s. I knew that it was imperative for me to get those tools to be able to survive in this arena of politics. And that which I was obtaining, that which I was learning and soaking in, that was not just for me and my children, but it was also for those elected officials that I was ministering to. I'm using my journalism tool to minister to these people. And I was giving them my own devotionals and things like this. I was running out of stuff. So I told somebody at KCM what my life was like and that I had no tracts or anything to give these politicians. So then you invested in me and you gave me your classic daily devotional that I gave to so many politicians. You have a track record of being somebody that's trustworthy, that is honest, that is kind, that wants the best for them, because I really do. And people pick that up, especially in politics where there's so much evilness within those circles. It's been a very interesting journey in which I was able to integrate the faith component with the political component.